All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Between Two Spines. As you can see, we've added here, this is the first official week with Dr. Emily as part of the crew. So I am Dr. Jake Greenacker, and with me now, as always, Dr. Joe Gerber and Dr. Emily Barnes here. And this week, we kind of chatted about this a little bit before. What we got?
Yeah, we kind of touched a bit about it before, about back to school stuff.
Yep.
And kind of we talked a little bit about getting you back on schedule and stuff with that. Yep. But right now we're talking more about kind of sleep, getting your kiddos back on a sleep schedule, how important that is for their health, well-being, and just being a good student, right?
Yeah.
And also a good son or daughter as well. So it's a lot of stuff that we're changing, kind of getting back into the groove of things. So sleep for the kiddos when they get back to school.
Sleep's a big one. So if we look at it, we're seeing a lot of intake forms, not only babies with sleep issues, but also kids. More and more kids we're seeing with sleep issues, and adults as well. We were talking earlier about, it's one of the biggest things we see on progress exam forms is actually improved sleep, which is great. But
every 10 to 12 adjustments we do those progress
exams, which is nice, so we can recheck that stuff. But sleep is also super important, for health and all that too. So especially with kids, kids are requiring a lot of sleep. So, a big thing for that.
Yeah,
so.
Especially this time of year. Trying to get back into the routine of everything, and getting your kids back on track into the school year and being able to be rested and ready for the school day really. Yes. And they don't have the leniency of sleeping in because it's not summer anymore, but.
Yeah, and it's also when we start to see these things show up when sleep maybe isn't the best. It's like they didn't notice during the summer because they're up later, sleeping later, don't have as much concentration, that stuff to do. But now is the time that it's showing up. And it doesn't mean that it wasn't a problem in July and it wasn't a problem in June, but now it's showing up again. I know a couple weeks we did the one with headaches, same thing. You didn't notice it during the summer because now they're back staring at a board. But super important for health. Kids should be getting tons of sleep, and if it's interrupted or broken sleep, it's not good. But sleep is hugely tied into upper cervical spine stuff. I know it's something that we talk about a lot in the office, but very, very top part of your neck, that bone surrounds your brainstem, and the brainstem is actually a big area that controls that circadian rhythm in your sleep pattern. So if that, there's an irritation up there, it can really hyperstimulate that area and cause problems either falling asleep or staying asleep, which is huge for these kids.
Yeah, it's kind of like hitting that reset button. And most parents, come back after their kid has been adjusted and they're like, I don't know what you did, but man, they're out. It's pretty much hitting that reset button. If you've played a Nintendo at all in the past, reset.
Nintendo. I love it. I love the Nintendo reference. I don't know if you end up blowing it and then push it down too. No, but the idea of it is this hit that reset button. The great thing is with infants, we see it all the time where it's just like an instant change. I talk about, man, that first adjustment, the kid was out for like 6 hours, kind of thing. And then we get the joke about, can you have office hours at 10 o'clock at night kind of thing. And as kids get older, sometimes that hardwiring and those patterns are a little bit more stuck, so it takes sometimes a little bit more, but the concept is the same. As when this stuff is hyperstimulator that's going on, as soon as that can be reset, that body can kind of normalize and come back down to a normal sleep pattern. So sleep always important, but especially as we're rolling around this back to school time, certainly time to get those kids checked. Make sure you get them in here, give us a call. We'll get them checked out and see if there's something we can do to help them get back on track.
We always do talk about, not to cut you off, I'm sorry.
No.
Not to always talk about kids, but the parents are just as important too. So most of the time we see that they put more stuff on their paperwork, but sometimes they don't talk about sleep. And on that first reevaluation or new scans, well, guess what? They start saying, well, I have improved sleep.
Yeah.
Big stuff for the whole family. So.
Is there anything else to add, anyone?
No.
Yeah. So it's hugely important, and sometimes again with the adult thing, it's become so normal. It's become that they're normal that they're not sleeping. It's they're normal that they're not getting rested. That once that they kind of get that under control, it's that whole new level of being normal. Kids do. They've never slept well. It's hard for them to know that they're not sleeping well if they've never slept well. Well, it's time to change that for sure. So
actually, one more thing too. I mean, sleep honestly is the part of the day when our bodies are actually healing the most. And so if you're not sleeping and you're not getting enough good quality sleep, your body's not healing properly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's why for adults especially that are maybe dealing with certain issues, that's the time of the day when they need it most. So
they get that rest in and that parasympathetics kick in, and also they're able to eat and grow, digest, grow, all those kind of things, which is awesome. But sleep is hugely important, and you're right for healing in there, which is great. So that's all we got this week, guys. So until next week, take care. So you can hold it. You don't have to
Am I
hold
going in the
it.
middle here?
Sure.
Alright.
All right. We'll hit record. So
Ah.
I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready for Joe.
I
He's
know.
like the.
I'm a little bit nervous.
He's like the Jimmy Fallon of weekly video blogs.
Soon to be
You're
Jim.
that, yeah. You're that good.
Thanks.
Yeah. So.
She did it.
God,
Got it.
it.
Got it.
Got it. I just noticed
Wow,
you
look at
have a,
You see that?
a huge chunk of
It's part of the time.
yeah.
Dust.
It's
a
dust.
bunny.
He was crawling under his desk.
It's a dust bunny. Pickles.
I call it pickles.
Pickles.
Somebody's got a rabbit named Pickles.
If you wouldn't be so scared, you wouldn't have to hide under your desk.